It comes from knowing that Allah is in control of everything. When you place your trust in Him, you stop feeling like you have to carry every burden alone. You realize that you are not responsible for managing every outcome, only for making sincere effort. This understanding brings a deep sense of relief, and that relief slowly transforms into inner calm that stays with you even during difficult times. My beloved brothers and sisters, the heart was created to rely on Allah, and when it does not, it becomes restless. You may try to fill that emptiness with distractions or achievements, but the calm you are searching for will remain out of reach. Trust in Allah is what aligns your heart with its true purpose. When you remember that Allah knows your situation better than you do, your worries begin to soften. You stop questioning everything and start accepting that there is wisdom behind what you are experiencing. This acceptance is not weakness, it is strength rooted in faith. Anxiety often comes from trying to control what you cannot control. You think about the future, the outcomes and the possibilities, and your mind becomes overwhelmed. But when you trust Allah, you release that need for control. You accept that your role is to do your best and leave the rest to Him. This shift changes how you think and how you feel. Instead of being trapped in endless worry, you begin to experience a sense of ease. You no longer feel like everything depends on you. And that realization alone brings a powerful calmness. Overthinking is one of the biggest obstacles to inner peace. You replay situations, analyze decisions, and imagine scenarios that may never happen. This constant thinking drains your energy and disturbs your heart. Trusting Allah helps you break this cycle. It reminds you that you do not need to have all the answers. Allah already knows what is best for you, and He will guide you accordingly. When you let go of excessive thinking, your mind begins to rest and your heart begins to feel lighter. Dua plays a central role in building inner calm. When you speak to Allah about your fears and your worries, you release the weight you have been carrying. You are reminded that you are not alone, that Allah is always near, always listening. This connection brings comfort that cannot be found elsewhere. Even before your situation changes, your heart changes. You feel supported, understood, and cared for. This is the power of turning to Allah with sincerity. Sometimes the calm you are searching for is delayed because Allah is teaching you patience. You may want immediate relief, immediate answers, and immediate clarity, but Allah's plan unfolds in its own time. When you trust His timing, you begin to feel peace even in waiting. You understand that delays are not denials, they are part of a greater plan. This perspective helps you remain patient and hopeful, even when things are not going as you expected. Trust in Allah also strengthens your self-respect. When you rely on people or circumstances for your peace, you become dependent and easily shaken. But when your trust is in Allah, you become more stable. You do not need constant reassurance from others, and you do not lose yourself in trying to please people. Your sense of worth comes from your connection with Allah, and that gives you a confidence that is calm and steady. Avoiding sins plays a significant role in achieving inner calm. Sin creates restlessness in the heart, making it harder to feel peace. When you strive to stay close to Allah, to seek forgiveness and to improve your actions, your heart becomes lighter. You begin to feel a clarity that comes from being aligned with what pleases Allah. This alignment brings a deep sense of calm that cannot be replaced by anything else. Taking action with trust in Allah also contributes to inner peace. When you do what you can and leave the results to Allah, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure. You focus on your efforts without being overwhelmed by outcomes. This balance allows you to move forward with confidence and calmness. You are no longer paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. You are guided by trust and purpose. There will be moments when your calm is tested, when challenges arise and your heart feels heavy again. In those moments, remind yourself of how many times Allah has brought you through difficulties before. Reflect on the times when things worked out in ways you did not expect. These reminders strengthen your trust and help you regain your calm. They show you that Allah has always been there for you and He will continue to be. Inner calm is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of trust. Your life may still have challenges, uncertainties and tests, but your heart feels steady because it relies on Allah. This steadiness allows you to face difficulties with patience and strength. You are not easily shaken because your foundation is strong. At the end of it all, trust in Allah is what brings true peace to your heart. It allows you to live with hope instead of fear, with patience instead of frustration, and with calm instead of anxiety. You continue to make your effort, to make your dua, and to rely on Allah in every situation. And in that reliance, you find the inner calm that so many people are searching for. A calm that stays with you no matter what life brings. Overthinking steals your peace. Overthinking is a silent burden that many people carry without realizing how much it is affecting them. You sit with your thoughts going over the same situations again and again, trying to find answers that are not meant to be known yet. This constant thinking does not bring clarity, it brings exhaustion. Your mind becomes busy, but your heart becomes restless. Islam teaches us that peace is not found in controlling every thought, but in trusting Allah with what you cannot understand. When you allow overthinking to take over, you slowly lose the calmness that comes from relying on Allah. But when you step back and remind yourself that not everything needs to be solved in your mind, your heart begins to feel lighter and more at ease. My beloved brothers and sisters, overthinking often comes from fear. You fear what might happen, what people might say, or what could go wrong. So you try to prepare yourself by thinking through every possible outcome. But this only traps you in a cycle of worry. Allah did not create you to live in constant mental struggle. He created you to trust Him. When you understand that your future is already in His hands, you begin to see how unnecessary this overthinking truly is. You realize that you are carrying a burden that does not belong to you. When your mind is constantly active, your heart does not get the chance to rest. You may feel physically tired even when you have not done much, because your thoughts have drained your energy. Overthinking takes away your ability to enjoy the present moment. You are either stuck in the past or worried about the future, missing the blessings that are right in front of you. But when you choose to trust Allah, you begin to bring your focus back to the present. You start to appreciate what you have, and this appreciation brings peace. Overthinking also creates doubt in your decisions. You question yourself, your choices and your abilities even after you have done your best. This doubt can hold you back from taking action or make you regret decisions that were made with good intentions. But when you trust Allah, you understand that once you have made a sincere effort, the outcome is in His hands. You do not need to keep questioning what has already been decided. This trust gives you confidence and helps you move forward without being stuck in doubt. Dua is one of the most effective ways to break free from overthinking. Instead of keeping your thoughts inside your mind, you bring them to Allah. You express your concerns, your fears and your uncertainties, and in doing so, you release the pressure. Allah listens to you without judgment and understands you completely. This connection helps you feel supported and reduces the need to keep everything inside your mind. Your thoughts become lighter and your heart becomes calmer. Sometimes overthinking is rooted in past experiences. You may have been hurt, disappointed, or confused before, and now you try to prevent those feelings from happening again. But constantly revisiting the past only keeps you stuck in it. Allah has given you the ability to move forward, to learn and to grow. When you trust in His plan, you allow yourself to let go of what has already happened and focus on what is ahead. This release brings freedom to your mind and peace to your heart. Patience plays a key role in overcoming overthinking. You may want immediate answers and clear outcomes, but not everything is meant to be known right away. Allah reveals things at the right time. When you accept this, you stop trying to force clarity before it is meant to come. You become more comfortable with uncertainty, knowing that Allah's timing is always perfect. This patience reduces the urge to overthink and helps you remain calm. Avoiding sins also helps in reducing overthinking. Sin can create inner unrest, making your thoughts more chaotic and your heart more unsettled. When you strive to stay close to Allah, your heart becomes cleaner and your mind becomes clearer. You feel a sense of peace that makes it easier to trust and let go. The spiritual connection plays a powerful role in calming your thoughts and reducing overthinking. Taking action is another way to overcome overthinking. When you remain still, your mind has more space to wander. But when you focus on doing what you can, your thoughts become more directed and purposeful. You shift from thinking to doing, and this shift reduces unnecessary mental activity. You begin to feel more productive and less overwhelmed, which helps restore your sense of peace. Your self-respect grows when you learn to control your thoughts instead of letting them control you. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts, and you do not have to follow every idea that comes into your mind. This awareness gives you power over your thinking patterns. You become more mindful of what you allow into your mind and more intentional about how you respond to it. There will be moments when overthinking returns, and that is part of being human. But each time it does, you have the choice to respond differently. You can choose to trust Allah instead of getting lost in your thoughts. You can remind yourself that not everything needs to be figured out right now. With practice, this becomes easier and your mind becomes more peaceful. At the end of it all, overthinking steals your peace because it takes you away from trust in Allah. When you return that trust, your thoughts begin to settle and your heart begins to rest. You learn to live with acceptance, patience, and faith. You stop trying to control everything and start trusting the one who is in control of everything. And in that trust, you find a calmness that overthinking could never give you. Every delay has wisdom behind it. Every delay in your life is not without reason. It carries a wisdom that may not be visible to you right now. You may feel like you are falling behind, watching others move ahead while you remain in the same place. This feeling can create frustration and even doubt within your heart. But understand this clearly. Allah does not delay something except that there is good in that delay. What you see as late may actually be perfectly timed according to a plan that you cannot fully see. When you begin to accept that delays are part of Allah's wisdom, your heart starts to soften. You stop measuring your life by timelines and begin trusting the one who controls time itself. My beloved brothers and sisters, many times you ask Allah for something and expect it to come quickly. When it does not, you begin to question why. But Allah's knowledge is not limited like yours. He sees what is ahead, what is hidden, and what you are not ready for yet. Sometimes the delay is because you need to grow, to learn, or to become stronger before receiving what you are asking for. If it came too early, it might not benefit you in the way it is meant to. This understanding changes how you view waiting, from something painful into something purposeful. Delays often protect you from things you do not even realize could harm you. You may want something deeply, believing it will bring you happiness, but Allah knows the full reality of that situation. He knows what it could lead to, what it might take from you, and how it could affect your future. So He delays it not to deprive you, but to protect you. When you reflect on this, you begin to see delays not as rejection, but as mercy. And that mercy is something your heart can learn to trust. Overthinking becomes stronger when you focus on delays without understanding their purpose. You begin to question your worth, your efforts, and your direction. But when you remind yourself that every delay has wisdom behind it, your thoughts begin to calm. You stop assuming the worst and start trusting that something better is being prepared for you. This shift in thinking reduces anxiety and helps you stay grounded in your faith. Dua becomes more meaningful during times of delay. When things are not happening as quickly as you want, you turn to Allah more sincerely. You ask with humility, with hope, and with patience. These moments strengthen your relationship with Allah. You begin to rely on Him more deeply, and that connection becomes a source of comfort. Even before your situation changes, your heart feels closer to Allah, and that closeness brings peace. Patience is the key that unlocks the wisdom behind delays. It is not easy to wait, especially when you desire something strongly. But patience teaches you to trust Allah's timing over your own. It reminds you that what is meant for you will come at the right moment, not a moment too early or too late. When you develop patience, you begin to feel less restless and more at ease with the process of your life. Your self-respect is preserved when you accept delays with trust instead of desperation. When people feel delayed, they may lower their standards or chase things that are not right for them. But when you trust Allah, you do not need to rush or compromise your values. You know that what is written for you will reach you in a way that aligns with your dignity. This belief gives you strength and keeps your heart steady. Avoiding sins is also important during times of delay. Sometimes impatience can lead a person to take shortcuts or make choices that are not pleasing to Allah. But when you remain firm in your faith, seeking forgiveness and staying on the right path, you invite barakah into your waiting. Your delay becomes a period of purification and growth rather than frustration and regret. Taking action while waiting is also part of understanding delays. You do not stop your efforts just because results are not immediate. You continue to work, to improve and to grow, trusting that your efforts are not wasted. Allah sees every step you take, even when you do not see the results yet. This combination of action and patience creates a powerful foundation for your future. Sometimes the delay itself is preparing you for something greater than what you originally asked for. You may have a certain expectation, but Allah has something better in store. If you received what you wanted immediately, you might have missed out on something far more beneficial. This realization helps you trust the process and remain hopeful even when things are not going as planned. There will be moments when waiting feels heavy, when your heart feels tired and your patience feels tested. In those moments, remind yourself of how many times Allah has guided you before. Reflect on the times when things worked out in ways you did not expect. These reminders strengthen your faith and help you continue with hope. At the end of it all, every delay in your life is part of a greater plan designed by Allah. It is not random and it is not without purpose. When you trust this, your heart finds peace even in waiting. You continue to make your effort, to make your dua and to rely on Allah, knowing that what is coming is worth the wait. And when it finally arrives, you will understand why it was delayed and your heart will be filled with gratitude and contentment. Relying on Allah removes anxiety. Relying on Allah has a profound effect on the heart, especially in a world filled with uncertainty and pressure. When you depend only on yourself or on people, your anxiety increases because everything feels unstable. But when your reliance shifts to Allah, something inside you begins to settle. You realize that you are not alone in carrying your burdens. Allah is in control of every situation, every outcome, and every detail of your life. This understanding removes a heavy weight from your chest. You no longer feel like everything depends on you, and that realization alone brings a deep sense of calm that cannot be achieved through control or planning alone. My beloved brothers and sisters, anxiety often comes from trying to manage what is beyond your ability. You worry about the future, about outcomes, and about things that have not even happened yet. But Allah reminds us that He is the one who controls everything. When you rely on Him, you accept that your role is to do your best and leave the rest to Him. This acceptance changes how you experience life. You stop feeling overwhelmed by uncertainty and begin to trust that whatever happens is under Allah's perfect control. When you rely on Allah, your heart learns to let go of unnecessary fear. You understand that nothing can harm you unless Allah allows it, and nothing can benefit you unless He wills it. This belief protects your heart from constant worry. You are no longer shaken by every possibility or every challenge. Instead, you remain steady, knowing that Allah is guiding your path. This steadiness is what brings true peace, even in difficult situations. Overthinking begins to fade when you rely on Allah. You no longer feel the need to analyze every detail or predict every outcome. You trust that Allah already knows what is best for you and will guide you accordingly. This trust allows your mind to rest. You stop going in circles with your thoughts and begin to focus on what you can do in the present. This shift reduces anxiety and brings clarity to your thinking. Dua becomes your source of strength when you rely on Allah. Instead of keeping your worries inside, you bring them to Him. You ask for guidance, for ease and for protection, knowing that Allah hears every word. In that moment, your heart feels lighter because you are no longer carrying everything alone. You feel supported, and that support gives you the courage to move forward without fear. Relying on Allah also changes how you view challenges. Instead of seeing them as threats, you begin to see them as part of your journey. You understand that every difficulty has a purpose and that Allah is using it to shape you. This perspective reduces anxiety because you are no longer resisting what is happening. You accept it with trust, knowing that there is good